speaking of matches we're most anticipating, you mentioned it a second ago, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, the main event, Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. There's been a lot of talk, Mr. Marceau, coming out of Friday's SmackDown of last week, that this could be it. Roman Reigns' championship reign, it's been in jeopardy a few different times. There were a few different times I'm thinking, okay, they might actually take the championship off of him. But now more than ever, I'm feeling like the reign might be over. We celebrated 2 years of Roman Reigns as champion on Tuesday, so we are officially past the 2-year mark of him as champion. If it's not here, I don't think it's ending until at least WrestleMania. I don't know why you would do it at any other pay-per-view except there, unless it's now, and then the circumstances align, the stars have aligned with, Drew being from Europe, and they're going to be in Wales on Saturday, and the build-up and the video packages and just how long Roman's been champion. I mean, there's a lot of factors working in Drew's favor here, and I think him winning would be, again, an amazing moment. Of the two who I'm predicting, I'm thinking Drew walks out as champion, and I think that's a great outcome. I still say, all these months later, Cody would be ideal, because Drew doesn't exactly need it, but he's never won a world title in front of fans before, and we're better than in his native country, or his native continent. He's not from Wales, obviously. I'm a fool for saying that. But I'm thinking Drew wins here, but Roman winning would be the ultimate shocker, and he still has a few different opponents, too. It's not as if he ran through everyone in WWE. You still have Bobby Lashley. You can do Roman and Cross at some point if you want. They have Kevin Owens still waiting in the background, although they've done that before. Seth Rollins never got his rematch, and as I mentioned, Cody Rhodes is still waiting in the wings as well, albeit injured for the time being, but he'll be back around Mania, hopefully. So I'm thinking Drew. Roman would be quite the surprise if he won, and not a bad surprise either, in my opinion. People might disagree with that, but I'm pulling for Drew to win the championship here because I think the circumstances are just right for that moment to happen on Saturday.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting match. I mean, I don't know. I just really don't know when it comes to this match. I feel like the stars are aligning for Drew to win, but like you said, we still have a lot. Roman does have a lot of people that he hasn't feuded with yet, and I feel like, I don't know, I just have a feeling like that they might like set it up like Drew's gonna win, and then like Karrion might get involved, or someone from the bloodline's gonna get involved. I mean, obviously that's just gonna happen, but I don't know. I feel like they're like teasing they're gonna give us they're basically saying it's gonna happen, and then I just have a feeling it's not. I'll go with Drew, but I would not be shocked at all if Roman left with the championship still.
I would be surprised, but I'm not saying there's 0% chance of it happening. I do think there's a chance. I just think all signs are pointing towards Drew, and like you said, that could be a red herring. A lot of questions coming up of what you said, though. I don't think Karrion gets involved for the simple fact. First of all, I don't think there should be any interference, first of all. I mean, this is such a big match. They've built to it so well. They have a lot of history. The match is going to be great. If the Survivor Series match from 2 years ago was any indication, and that was a great match with no fans, this should be 10 times better. And I know they had matches at Mania 35. We were both there for that. That was a fucking stinker. But their chemistry is so much better with the roles reversed. Drew is the babyface, Roman is the heel. I don't think Karrion would be the one to get involved. I think if only because of his vaccination status. I could be wrong on that, and I don't want to speculate. But he wasn't on SmackDown in Canada. And I don't know if you can travel, if that being the case. So he might not even be at that show. I know he's making his in-ring debut on SmackDown on Friday, which they already taped last week. So I don't expect to see Karrion on that show unless they pre-tape something with him cutting a promo or whatever. The other thing with the Usos, they've said time and time again that the Usos have gotten involved in many of Roman's matches, which is true. They got involved in Roman's match at SummerSlam. They cost Kevin Owens the championship several times. They even cost Drew his match with Roman Reigns 2 years ago. So the Usos are still very much a threat. I assume they can still travel despite the DUI stuff. I don't think they can go to Canada, but I think they can go to the UK. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I know Jeff Hardy couldn't go to the UK years ago when he was in TNA due to his prior arrest, but I mean, these are DUIs, so I'm not sure how different that is. You can shed some light on that. But I do think if the Usos get involved, there has to be some sort of Drew's got to have some backup, whether it be, I don't know if it's the New Day, but preferably someone like Kevin Owens, given the story they've told there. I don't think you can have the Usos help Drew win or help Roman win and then just have that be it. I feel like that'd be a very flat ending.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I think, like you said, I think the Usos will get involved. It just, I mean, that's just what's going to happen. But, I mean, like you said, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have Sammy cost Roman or accidentally cost Roman, or I don't know. I feel like the story that's getting told now, like he didn't help him on Raw, we don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown. Like, they started letting him in, and now he's starting to disappoint. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways they can go with it. I don't know. I'm still thinking Drew wins. I would not be upset if Roman won and retained the championship, given the amount of opponents he still has left to face. AJ Styles being another one as well. Not that exactly he's high on the totem pole right now, because he isn't, due to how he's been booked. But that's another option as well. But yeah, we haven't seen Paul Heyman since SummerSlam. Do you think he resurfaces here?
Yeah.
And where do you think the Owens and Sammy stuff is ultimately headed, and how soon do you think they do that turn?
I don't know. I mean, they already teased it on Monday. I mean, he didn't hit Owens, and they have bad blood there. I mean, I'm still waiting for the shirt with Sammy in it. I'm still waiting for the Bloodline shirt to have Sammy in it. So I'm hoping they last a little bit longer. Maybe, like, tricks them. They're under his wing, and then eventually the turn comes. He's just like, you guys were so dumb, and you guys slipped my dumb ass in, and now I'm going to screw you over. So, I don't know. Like I said, I really want a shirt with Sammy in it, so I hope the turn's not too soon.
Yeah, I hope it's not too soon, especially because I want them to pull the trigger when the time is right, and it's not like next week on Raw or the next week. I still think there's a lot more mileage you can get out of Sami Zayn being in the Bloodline and him interacting with them, and the sit-downs with Roman, which are just amazing. The best part of WWE TV, in my opinion, every single week, and I'm sure a lot of other people would agree. Yeah, I wouldn't do it anytime soon. I would save that match for maybe not Mania, but I don't know. You got to have Owens saving Sammy from the Usos on like a big Raw in front of a hot crowd, like Chicago. I mean, they were just in Canada, unfortunately, but somewhere like that where they're not going to sit on their hands and they're going to give that moment the reaction it deserves. So hopefully we get that in the not too distant future, or in the distant future, but not too distant to where it's like SummerSlam next year. I do think they can strike when the iron is hot. I wouldn't do it quite yet because there's still much more they can get out of the feud. I would pull the AEW card on this one and wait a little bit longer and do the long-term storytelling with Sami Owens and the Usos, because I feel like to do it anytime soon would be premature. So hopefully they can hold off on it until it means as much as it can, and they can pull the trigger on that. But in the meantime, though, I agree. I think Roman is losing the championship here, but there's a chance he could walk out still champ, so we'll see on Saturday.